Welcome to episode 168, The 3 Keys of Style. When it comes to building a wardrobe, most women start with the clothes, and that leads to a lot of costly and frustrating mistakes. If you stand in your closet wondering what to wear, stop shopping and start with this. For more than a decade, I've taught my clients the power of unlocking your 3 keys of style. Discovering your 3 keys is the very first step to knowing what to wear and how to wear it. Once you know these, then you can build your fashion foundation and everything comes together effortlessly. In this episode, I'm sharing with you the 3 keys of style and how to unlock yours. Is your style in need of a jumpstart? Then I have just the thing for you. Find Your Signature Style is my flagship course, and it is a culmination of everything I have been teaching my clients for 14 years. This course gives you exactly what you need to build the foundation for your style, to build your wardrobe, to learn how to love shopping, and to fall in love with your style. Whether you feel like you don't have a style, you've lost your style, or your style just needs a little bit of a jump start, this is exactly the course for you. Designed to give you all the elements you need in 3 simple steps. We make finding your style as easy as 1, 2, 3. Click the link in the show notes or go to findyoursignaturesstyle.com and get ready to rock your style today. Welcome to Style by Mary Michele, a podcast designed to empower you through personal style. I'm your host, Mary Michele Nidifer, a master style coach, founder of Style Finder Boutique, and creator of the Style Finder ID system. I'm here to help you know what to wear, how to wear it, and how to get dressed in 7 minutes or less. Let's go. Hello, beautiful friends. I am actually super excited to be here with you today because if you're just listening, well, I am actually recording a video podcast and you can watch the whole episode on YouTube, which I usually post my episodes on YouTube, but typically you can just listen. So today you can actually see me. I'm in my studio and I have to tell you, this morning I woke up and it's so crazy to think that we're so close to spring, but it was snowing. Oh my goodness. And I am in the throes of packing for my trip. I've got a trip to Paris coming up in about 3 weeks and cannot wait. In fact, I got a reminder today because I booked this fabulous Airbnb because one thing I wanted to do differently this time, I don't know if you followed me for very long, but I was in Paris back in September and I loved it, but I stayed in a hotel. And while the hotel was beautiful, there was one thing I could not do, and that was cook. And so I really wanted to have that experience. And I found this amazing Airbnb. And so I'm going to be able to go to the market and come home and prepare meals, or at least just have cheese and charcuterie and enjoy my terrace and some wine and the view. So I cannot wait, but I've been trying to figure out what to wear. You guys have not seen me shoot any video content around what I'm packing for Paris because I really don't know. I have no idea what the weather's going to be like. And it's snowing here in North Carolina today has kind of thrown me for a loop. And so I'm going to be sharing some thoughts about packing when you don't know what the weather's going to be. Because I was reading an article the other day by someone, I don't know if you follow Everyday Parisian. I love Rebecca Plotnick. She's fantastic. So shout out to Rebecca. And I love her, she does some beautiful photography, but she also writes really practical advice about traveling to Paris. And I've gotten some great ideas from her. So I was reading a blog article she wrote, and she said last year when she was there in early April, it snowed. And so I really don't know what to expect. So I'm looking at our weather here thinking, is this what it's going to be like in Paris? I'm a little confused. And I think our weather is too, but I think that's pretty par for the course here in North Carolina. So today we're talking about your fashion foundation. And if I were speaking to you, I would say, who here feels like they have a fashion foundation? Do you feel like you have a fashion foundation? This is where I think a lot of people really get it wrong. They think that they need more clothes. And especially as the seasons change, we're like, oh my gosh, I'm ready to freshen up my wardrobe. I need new things. I need new colors. And then they just run out and they look at what's on trend, or they look at what's in the store and they start buying what they like. And then they wonder, why can't I put together an outfit? Well, ladies, this is what I've been teaching my clients for 15 years, and it really is your fashion foundation. And it's the information that, in my opinion, it's all what all women must need. And actually every man, woman, and child as well. Because I think that when you have this foundation, it makes it easier to shop. And, a great example is when my stepdaughter, she's working with us at Style Finder, which has been fabulous. And she wanted to build a capsule wardrobe. And we were talking about what are some of the best colors to bring in and how can she start to build her capsule. Now, I don't know if you guys followed last week. If you follow me over on Instagram, then you probably heard that I shot a fabulous wardrobe building 101 workshop. I took you guys behind the scenes and you get to see a big chunk of it. You didn't get to see the entire thing, but you got to see enough of it. But what I did share during that workshop is that you need to know these keys before you can know what to put in your capsule. I did share a fantastic formula, and that is posted on my feed. And so if you want to go see snippets of that, you can go to my feed on Instagram at Style by Mary Michele or at Shop Style Finder, and you'll see some of those. But I taught my fabulous wardrobe building formula, which I'm going to be talking about on a future podcast. So let me know if you'd like to hear more about that, because that, I think a lot of women were like, oh my gosh, this is the solution I've been waiting for. But here's where women make a mistake. They take that solution, or they take the idea of a wardrobe capsule and they run with it, and they start bringing things in: black pants, striped top, white shirt, etc. And then you're right back where you started, because you're building it with pieces that aren't necessarily right for you. And so this is where I want you to know your 3 keys before you build your wardrobe, before you shop for clothes, because this is what is going to guide you. If you don't know what your 3 keys are, how can you know what's going to be right for you? How can you know what's going to fit you, flatter you, be functional in your lifestyle, make you look good, and help you feel fantastic? I want you to get up every day and get dressed effortlessly and walk out the door just feeling amazing, because I want you to have an amazing life. And clothes can be a tool to help you create just that. Now, let me start with my first one. Color, ladies. And you probably aren't surprised to hear me talk about this. In fact, I'm still hard at work writing my book, How to Wear Color with Confidence. It will be out this summer, and I cannot wait. I wish I had it to give to you right now, because there's so much great information. But I tell you what, every time I work with the client, every time I teach a course, every time I get online and do a live and talk about color, I feel like I learned something new. And I add it to the book. So the book is really going to be chock full of 15 years worth of experiences, of all the insight and information. Now, yes, there are a lot of books out there around wearing color, but mine is not scientific. Mine is not scientific at all, and it's a very easy approach. And so when you read it, you're going to be like, ooh, I know what she's talking about. Ooh, I know how to do that. I have that in my closet already. And so it's really designed to be easy and actionable. And I'm going to be giving away my first chapter very soon. So in fact, I have a fabulous friend. Shout out to Mary, who is editing it for me. And I cannot wait to see what she comes back with and to get it into your hands, because it's what I've learned. And I want all women to know this. And when it comes to color is a game changer. If you don't know any of the keys but color, even just that one thing will change your game. If you've ever had a color analysis, if you've ever taken our course, How to Find Your Signature Style, then you know at least a few colors to get started with. You know where to put your focus. And sometimes what I found is that even when you have a color analysis, if everything's an option, then recipe for overwhelm. I sat down with the client yesterday and I told her, I said, I don't expect you to wear all 30 or 40 of these colors, but I want to give you a rhyme and a reason. And so when I do a color analysis with a client, or if you take my course, How to Find Your Signature Style, then I share with you, what do you want to wear in these colors? How do you put it all together? What do you look for? It's not just find out these colors and boom, you're on your own. There is a method to the madness. And I walk you through it in the course. I walk you through it in my upcoming book, which you can't get yet, but I do walk you through it a color analysis, and I'm going to be walking everyone through it as we go through my Spring Style Jumpstart course. So that actually started yesterday, and we're going to be really just taking their wardrobe to new heights. And I'm sharing all my best tips with these ladies to help them build their spring wardrobe, and then they can rinse and repeat. They can use this information for years to come. So if you missed out on that, then I might be able to get you in. So send me a DM. We might be allowing a couple more people in because I did not really give you guys much time to get in there. But anyway, so color, let's talk about color. Why does color matter? Well, color is the first thing that people notice, right? And if you watched my workshop last week, and if you didn't, I encourage you to. If you watched that workshop last week, then you saw that I started with color. Now, I didn't necessarily build it around my personal best colors. However, if I were building it for an actual client, that's absolutely what I would do. So you want to find out a few of your best colors. You want to put those together in a meaningful way. And you want to make sure that you're wearing colors, not only wearing the colors that light you up, but wearing colors that light you up in the right way. There is a way to wear them, and there's a way not to wear them. And so it's like going down the rabbit hole with color, I found. And so if you're just scratching the surface, it's okay. It's, you're great where you are, but you do want to keep going, keep going, keep going. You're never done, right? And as you learn little tweaks and you learn, oh, I could do this and I could do this, then it just helps you to expand on your knowledge. But this is what I call the first key, because it really is, if you were looking at this as a pyramid, then this would be the base. This would be the bottom of it. And once you have this foundation, then it becomes easy. Everything else just starts to fall into place. I remember working with my client, Ashley, I don't know, a year and a half or so ago. And she came in, she wanted to do a color analysis and the whole Style Finder 101. And I remember the color piece of it was such a game changer. And I showed her what her best colors are. I did her color analysis, and I started creating her personal color capsule. And I remember her expression. She interrupted me, and she stopped, and she's like, "Oh my God, I see how this makes a difference right now." And it was like I could just see her wheels spinning in all the right ways. And I was so excited that she got it, and she could see how she could take just this many colors and put them together in her wardrobe to create exponential outfits. And she is a fabulous businesswoman. She travels a lot, so she's used to building travel capsules, but she's never had any kind of a formula. So it was basically just taking way too many clothes because she was packing outfits. She wasn't packing capsules or pieces that mixed and matched because she didn't really know what to do. She didn't know how to do it. And when she saw this with color, she was like, "Oh my gosh, now I see how I can have far fewer clothes while making way more outfits." And I could just see the light bulb go off. And so it was just amazing to see. And she sent me pictures. She's like, "Oh, I'm going to go out this." And she ended up going to New York on a business trip. And she got out and she did some amazing shopping. She hit all these fabulous stores. And she did hit some high-end stores because she felt confident about investing in her wardrobe. And that's really what she set out to do. She said, "I want to invest in key pieces that are going to last me over and over and over. And I know that when I do that, first of all, that's going to be the foundation of my wardrobe. And I know I'm going to be able to build a lot of outfits on those." And so it was just so great to see how she grasped this concept and just took it and ran with it. It was amazing. I also recently worked with one of my other clients, Peggy, and Peggy attended our Style Jumpstart retreat. And it was so great to work with her. And I'd never really worked with her one-on-one, but she had been following me. She's done our course. She's done a few things with me. And when I have talked with Peggy over the years, she's been a redhead. And she recently, her hair color changed. And as she went gray, at some point in our conversation, I think I'd seen her at a luncheon or something, she was talking about wearing black, and I encouraged her to start wearing gray. And just doing that one swap without really having any rhyme or reason, she's like, "Oh my gosh, that has changed everything for me." Because if you think about it, your coloring's warm and you're wearing, colors that work with red hair and warm skin. And then all of a sudden your coloring is gray and your hair's, if it's made a huge change, then she was confused. She started noticing, well, things aren't really working for me like they used to, which they won't. And so I really want you to pay attention to that. If you find that you're wearing colors that aren't really doing it for you anymore, don't wear those. I mean, it sounds so simple, but don't wear those. And then start playing, start experimenting and asking yourself, what makes me feel good? What lights me up? And when you can do that, that's where you start to be really guided in the right direction. And starting to wear gray instead of black really shifted a lot of things for Peggy. She was able to see, okay, now the gray works better with me. It works better with the colors that I like to wear. It works better. It softens things a little bit. And she started feeling really good about that. And then when she joined me in the winter when she joined me in January for the retreat, we dove in deeper and really built out her color palette. And it really helped her to know, hey, hot pink is a great color for me now. And cobalt, and she was wearing colors that she had never really worn before, all because her coloring had changed. And so if you feel like maybe your coloring has changed, go with that. Trust that, because your coloring will change. As we get older, we lose pigment from our skin tone, our hair, and our eyes. And I was sharing that with a client the other day, and a great friend of mine, Tracy, and she has let her hair go natural. And we were having this conversation, and another friend, Anne-Marie, looked at me and she's like, oh my God, all women need to know this. I said, I know, and I'm doing my best to help them. But what I shared with Tracy was that now that your coloring has changed, then you need to shift the colors that you wear. And it was interesting, the comment that she made. She said, I'm starting to think that maybe my brown hair was too dark. And what I shared with her is that just what I shared with you is that as we age, we do lose pigment from our skin, our hair, our eyes. And so as she's gotten older and her hair is lightened up naturally, then so have her skin and her hair. And so now at this phase, her dark brown hair would be too dark. However, when it was dark brown, it wasn't. It actually looked really good on her. And I've known her for years. And I know for myself, even looking back at pictures of myself from 10 years ago, when Jim and I first got married, my hair was a lot darker. And I look at that and I'm like, was my hair too dark? But I know then that my coloring, it worked. I remember loving it. And I see pictures, I'm like, it actually really did work, but it wouldn't work for me now. And so if you're not lightening up your coloring, if you're not lightening up your hair color, if you do still color your hair, then you want to think about that. Because if you've always been really dark black or really dark brown or really deep, deep, deep red, you want to start lightening so that it keeps up with your skin and your eyes, just to create harmony. Now, I want to take a quick break and tell you about our course, How to Find Your Signature Style. It is what we call our flagship course, and it is the essence of everything that I've been teaching for 15 years. In this course, you're going to discover your 3 keys of style. You will discover 2 to 3 of your best colors, your signature colors that I like to call them. You'll discover what your body type is and what your silhouettes are. You'll discover what your style is, and you'll take our Style ID quiz, which is something that I created many years ago. Actually, I created our Style Finder ID assessment, which is what I use with my private clients. But when I created this course, I wanted to create a mini version. So this is going to give you one of your style words to start pointing you in the right direction. If everything is an option, then that's a recipe for overwhelm. Start by understanding your 3 keys of style and see how this can all help you to build your fashion foundation. So you can go to findyoursignaturesstyle.com or click the link in the show notes. But I invite you to come join me. And there is also a VIP option if you'd like to get guidance from a style coach. We get online every month and we have a Q&A session. You can ask me questions, you can send me pictures, and I will help you to find your style. All right, so let's get back to it. So the second key is your body type and your silhouette. Because this is where you can get the color right, but if it doesn't fit your body type, then, well, it's going to make you feel frumpy. You might make you feel uncomfortable. And so this is where understanding what your silhouette is can make all the difference. This is where a lot of women, I think, get so hard on themselves. But it's not about your size. It's not about your weight. It's about understanding, where am I right now without judgment? Can you do that? Can you reserve judgment for another day? Hopefully never. But when you can look at your body and say, okay, right now I'm 55. I was an hourglass. Maybe I'm starting to morph a little bit into an apple. Maybe I need different cuts. Maybe certain things are a little bit bigger. Maybe certain things are a little bit smaller. Just understand, where are you right now in your journey? I know my body type has changed, and I'm noticing changes, and I am giving myself grace every step of the way. But when you can really honor and understand what your silhouette is, that's where you can dress for it. Now, I want to share a story about a client of ours. Her name was Candace. And I remember my friend Sean years ago had said, hey, I want to send my daughter to you. And she was struggling. She was getting out into the professional world, and she was struggling. She had put on some weight and wasn't quite sure what to wear. I mean, first of all, she needed to build a professional wardrobe. Second of all, she did not know what to wear for her body type. And so when Candace came to me, I realized, okay, she's, early 20s, but she's a fuller figured gal. She was a little bit busty. She had a little bit of a tummy. But I said, you know what? We're just going to play. We're going to honor your body. We're going to I'm going to show you how to wear things that work for you and not against you. And so we started with some of her best colors. And then we found silhouettes that fit her like a glove. And I remember the look on her face. I mean, she's early 20s. She had just been wearing like jeans and schlumpy t-shirts throughout college, but now she wanted to step up her game. And I remember the look on her face when she came out of the fitting room, and she came out and her eyes lit up. She was like, oh my gosh, like, wow, I look like $1 million. She didn't think it was possible. And here's why. First of all, she didn't know how. Second of all, she had been judging herself and telling herself that, well, I've gained weight. There must be something wrong with me. Girl, there is never anything wrong with you. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. Enjoy that croissant. Enjoy that bagel. Enjoy that scoop of ice cream. Enjoy that glass of wine. Life is too short to sit around counting calories or measuring the size of your thighs. Now, I'm not saying go overboard. However, I am saying enjoy your life. Do things that bring you pleasure. If that includes food, so be it. It's certainly one of my big pleasures. When Candace could put together pieces in ways that flattered her body, she saw how some things could be visually slimming, and some things really lit her up, and other pieces just made her look and feel amazing. She was like, I didn't think I could be this comfortable at work. I said, you know what? When you buy things that are right for your body type, that fit you like a glove, and that flatter you, that's where you can be comfortable and still look good. There should not be, whoever said that if you have to wear professional clothing, you should be uncomfortable. Whoever said that? I don't know. But when you can wear things that are appropriate for a professional environment and that fit you and that feel good, that's where the magic happens. So discover what your body type is, discover what your signature silhouettes are, and learn how to put things together in a way that are right for you. Now, the third key you want to think about is, what is your style? This is something that I think a lot of women overlook, and they just think, well, I'm just classic, or I should just wear whatever I see. No, there's no one size fits all. And what I found years ago, I think it was in 2010 that I created my full Style Finder ID assessment. I've been using that with my clients for 13 years, and it's been amazing to see when they take that full assessment, just this like aha moment, like, okay, that's who I am. And it's this more than this like math confirmation. Like, yeah, like I kind of knew it all along, but I wasn't trusting myself. And this is what I found to be true for a lot of women. We kind of have this inkling of, ooh, I want to stand out, or I want to wear something that's a little bit unique or something that's different, or I want to follow the trends, but I'm afraid to, or am I too old to? First of all, let me just tell you, there is no right or wrong when it comes to your style. Your style is your style. And if you're drawn to something and you find yourself gravitating towards something, trust that. That's your style helping you to understand what you want to wear. But when you can understand what your style truly is, then you can understand the nuances. And I know you're probably going to be asking, well, what about being age appropriate? I like to think that when you wear things that are right for your coloring, that when you dress for the body that you're in right now and you wear something that's appropriate for your style, age appropriate is irrelevant. It's all about dressing in a way that's right for you. Dressing in a way that's right for your life, dressing in a way that makes you feel good. Because if it doesn't make you feel good, chances are it's not right. If it doesn't make you feel good now, then you don't have to worry about age appropriate. But if you put on something and you're worried about, well, is this right for me? Probably not. Not sure, I found means no. However, when you put on something and you're like, oh my gosh, where has this been all my life? That has happened so many times. And I remember working with my client, Nancy, years ago. Nancy is an amazing coach. And Nancy is an amazing coach. And I remember when she first came to me, she's like, I really want to up my style game. I want to take things to the next level. And so she took the Style ID quiz, and it was interesting what we found. And usually it is, because we found that she had a little bit of dramatic in her style. And it was something that I think she was feeling that pull, but she had not given herself permission to express. She thought, well, I should wear this, or I should wear this, or she just wasn't in touch with it. And so she was wearing her shoulds, but she wasn't feeling like herself. And so when we got together and we had our session, she came into the boutique and she put some things on. I started pulling some things, and she's like, well, I'm not sure about that. And I'm not sure about that. She wasn't, I was pushing her out of her comfort zone, basically. But I tell you what, she put on one of our liquid leather jackets in an olive green, which was the color that made her eyes pop. And she had on this gorgeous coral colored top and some neutral colored pants. And she came out of the fitting room and saw herself, and she was riveted. She was like, oh my gosh. It had that little bit of dramatic, but it was very, it was definitely a professional outfit, something she could wear when she was going to networking meetings or working with a client. But it was like she had found herself. It was that feeling and that look. And just seeing her so stunned and so riveted, like, I didn't realize I could look this good, was so amazing. And it just, I like to think that, I just helped pull more of her out of herself. It's in there. Your style is in there all along. And so many women go along and they think, well, I just don't have style. My belief is that every woman has a style. And when you can really uncover what that is, that's where you dress for you. You don't want to dress like all your friends dress, do you? And if you do, then that's fine. But if that doesn't make you feel good, then think about that. Think about what you could wear. What could you wear instead? And start making small tweaks, subtle tweaks. Maybe it's a tweak with some color. Maybe you start wearing bright colors that help you to stand out and get noticed. Or maybe you start wearing items for the workplace that are a little bit more comfortable. Or maybe you start incorporating the trends in new and different ways. Everybody has something that's different about their style. And there's not just a 40-something style or a 50-something style. There's not. And this is really what I coach my clients on, is honoring who you are. Understand your coloring, understand your body type, understand your style. And that's where you can wear an outfit in a way that's right for you. So many women tell me that they feel challenged looking polished and put together. And I've found that a lot of times it's because they're just putting on a top and just putting on a pair of pants and they're walking out the door. They're not taking the time to put their own stamp on their style. And I have a whole podcast about, I don't remember what number it is. I'll try to put it in the show notes. But I believe that when you take the time to put on a shirt and put on pants and then really play with it, and ask yourself, what else do I need to add? Could I wear a jacket? Do I need to do a half tuck? Do I need to add some jewelry? What shoes do I want to wear? And then it's the extras that you put on that not only complete your look, but they help you express your style. Because you could take 5 women that have on a white t-shirt and jeans. And if you just stop there, then they're all going to look pretty much the same, except for their coloring and their body type, right? Some are going to look natural and normal in that. Some are going to look uncomfortable because it's not really right for them. It's not done. I would be one of those. I would be uncomfortable. because I would need a jacket. I would want my accessories. I would want to add boots. I'd want to zhuzh it a little bit, do the half tuck or do something, add a belt. Then I want you to think about, you take those 5 women, and each of those 5 women is given free reign to accessorize and adorn themselves however they feel like it. Everybody's going to be different. Some women might put sandals on, some might wear sneakers, some might wear booties. Some are going to wear high heels. Some are going to roll the jeans. Some are going to cuff the jeans. Some are going to just let the jeans be. Some are going to add a belt. Some are going to tuck their shirt in. Some are going to wear a second layer or even a third layer or a fourth layer. Some might wear a sweater, a jacket, a kimono, jewelry, glasses, whatever lights you up. Think about how Iris Apfel would accessorize her jeans and a tee. She'd pile on the jewelry. You wouldn't even be able to recognize that white tee. That white tee is a backdrop for her style. Those jeans are a backdrop for her style. And so if you think about it that way, your clothing should be a backdrop for your style. Some pieces will stand out a little more than others. Some are going to be the main actors. Some are going to be the supporting characters. But when you put things together to create your unique recipe for style, that is where it all comes together. And it starts with your 3 keys of style. Knowing your best colors, knowing how to dress for your body type, and knowing what your style ID is. So if you are interested in learning all of these keys, then I invite you to come take our course, How to Find Your Signature Style. It is the best value out there. Honestly, for under $100, you can uncover all of these elements that are going to put you on the path to style success. Literally, I've taught so many women these elements over the years, whether it's in person or through courses or virtually, and it is just amazing. Even if you just focus on one, you make one small change, it can change everything for you. And it can change, and it can mean the difference between feeling great about your style and not feeling very good. It can mean the difference in feeling confident and excited about yourself and not feeling very confident and wanting to hide. It can mean the difference between standing out and getting noticed for all the right reasons and standing out and getting noticed for all the wrong reasons. And so I just want to ask you, what's it costing you? What is your style costing you by not knowing what your style is? If you don't know your keys of style, you're probably spending way too much money on clothes that you don't like and you don't even wear. And so when you understand what these elements are, then you can get in your closet and weed out and know, I know my best colors. I don't need that. I know my cuts, my silhouettes. I know what my body type is. That's not right for me. It helps you to avoid those items that are just not right for you anymore. And it helps you to take items that are right for you and wear them and pair them in outfits that make you look and feel amazing. There is no one size fits all when it comes to style. And I think when you can take the time to understand your best colors, your best silhouettes, and what your style really is, that is where it all comes together. That is where you know yourself more. You become a more empowered shopper. You start to get dressed effortlessly. And you can truly start to build and cultivate a wardrobe that's right for you. So if you'd like to know more, you can go to findyoursignaturesstyle.com or click the link in the show notes. And if you know a friend who would love to discover these 3 keys, I would love to have you share this podcast with her. Because when you have friends that know their coloring, their body type, and their style ID, then you become the best of shopping buddies. I had someone tell me the other day, she's like, yeah, I stopped shopping with friends because I realized I was making too many mistakes. I'll go along just for fun, but I don't shop with them because I realized what I was buying was what they wanted and what was right for them, and it wasn't right for me. And so when you can start to understand, how do you avoid the mistakes? Or when you start to have a shopping buddy and you know you can help each other. Hey, that is your color. Hey, that's your color. This is right for me, but it might not be your best. But hey, let's go find what your best is. You can sort of coach each other. I've seen that happen with a lot of women. And it's like you're speaking your own little language. And it can help you both. Then you can coach somebody and say, you know what, stay away from that. That's not right for you. You can help each other save money, and you can become your own best style advisors to each other. So yeah, so go send this to a friend, share this with somebody you think might enjoy it, and let me know how I can support you. So please reach out, come join us over in the Style by Mary Michele podcast group. And I do hope you'll come join me over on YouTube and watch this episode. And feel free to reach out. Let me know what you want to hear more of and how I can support you in the future. I love you, ladies. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for tuning in to Style by Mary Michele, where women come to get dressed in 7 minutes or less. If you enjoyed this podcast, I invite you to leave me a 5-star review on iTunes or wherever you're listening. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at Style by Mary Michele and shop our boutique at shopstylefinder.com for the best in upscale casual apparel. Better yet, if you're in the Raleigh area, come see us. We're located in the North Hills Shopping Center, the premier shopping district in Midtown Raleigh. For details and links mentioned in this episode, be sure to see the show notes. Have a beautiful week.